I have faith that the Constitution will be saved as prophesied by Joseph Smith. But it will not be saved in Washington.
No one ever threw a party for me, and I've been the good guy. I've been the good guy.
And pretty soon the women at the office start looking better and better, and your family looks worse and worse, and before you know it, boom.
I can't have a temple recommend.
Among the most common sexual sins, pregnancy and abortion, all ugly sins, but in and of themselves, they're pernicious evils.
If there are any among this people who should ever apostatize, prepare your backs for a good whipping.
We will seek you, find you,
Travis Wayne, good soul. So, last night into this morning, there's a news story we need to cover rather than my normal daily video. I was born and raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Did all the traditional stuff. And so I know it all. I've been involved in things that Mormons are not involved in. Which makes me special. And so I've accomplished much in my life because of being born and raised in the Church Mormon. And because of my accomplishments, I am hunted down by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Because Joseph Smith is a translator. Yeah, you'd think Mormons would embrace me and go, wow, that's so cool, church is true. Nope. You're not authorized to be a translator, Travis. Well, if the prophets are going against Joseph and the Book of Mormon, they're wrong. And what does it mean if they're wrong? It means everything they do is a lie and a fraud and a scam and a crime and blah, blah, blah. The Mormons can't make that connection. They're too stupid. But here's a weird thing for you. Remember Operation Rio Grande here in Utah? You know, AKA Operation Lock Up the Homeless. That was their solution to the homeless problem in Utah. Lock them up. And it failed. And so now the problem's worse. And so then they got a brilliant idea. Hey, let's build a shelter to replace the one we tore down. I think the original one had 1,600 capacity, something like that. Because I remember them talking about 3 shelters and the capacity for each, and it was less than the capacity for the original. But in the course of planning and designing the buildings to shortchange the homeless, they, and if you didn't understand, the original one with more capacity was still overflowing. They had guys lined up outside who could not get in. No room in the inn. And so thus it was a homeless crisis, and that was how they're going to deal with it, lock them up. And so the government thought, well, let's get the public's input. You know, the people with homes who pay taxes. See how they feel about it and put the blame on them rather than we, the government, who are a constitutional republic to do the will of the people in accordance with the United States Constitution so that everybody gets treated equally. And the city said, hell no. Riots, dogs and cats living together, it was mass hysteria. And so, yeah, nobody wanted the homeless shelters in their area. It would lower the property tax value. Oh, you want a temple in our area? Okay. Homeless shelter in a Walmart? No. Even the Trax train, Draper said, no, we don't want the extension into the suburbs. Because they were concerned that it would lower their tax values, but how are your employees going to get to your homes to start work? I don't care. We'll find somebody else. Get a homeless person to get a job. Now, and so they put him by the cops, and they've now had a divorce. The sheriff's office and the police department have divorced. And by the mental home. And that's how they think of the homeless, is that they're criminal, deadbeat, psychos. It's just so abusive. And so you know it's bad when the people are calling on their government to treat the homeless better. And thus you have the city of Provo residents call on city to take better care of unhoused population. You know, hey, how about give them a place to live? Wouldn't that be a great start? Wouldn't that be a great start? Alright, so, as missionaries, see, I went before the whole mission thing was uniform, so that you can have poor people going to rich missions. But in my day, that was not the case. Apostle, well, it's Benson, had to find out how rich your parents were so that he can determine where to send you. If you're poor, you go to a third world country. And you're given a parasite and sent back home for an operation that they can't perform out in Chile. And then, if you survive, you can then finish off your mission in Texas. Right, Todd? Yeah, well, you gotta become kind of rich to go to Chile, because there's all the shots that are required, and the travel, and the extra time in the MTC. My brother. Talk about your worms in your head, right, RFK? Child pedophile. God. And people are ignoring all this. He's in Jeffrey Epstein's little black book of child sex trafficking. And I still can't believe it. There was an MSNBC woman who's reporting, claiming that too much conspiracy theories are misinforming the public about Trump's relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. There wasn't any. No, not at all. No, Trump's in there. Trump's in there for his hotel to hold the sex trafficking. Yeah, Trump's in there. He's a big part of it. Not to mention Ivanka and Ivana. They're both in it. Dear God. And apparently some other guy, Trump, probably a brother. God. Anyway. Big scandalous mess. And yep, John Huntsman and his wife. Yeah, somebody saved their adopted kids. It's a trap. And so, yeah, I know all about the missions. And so I went to the New York mission, which was one of the most expensive at the time. As we had New Canaan, Connecticut, which at the time was the second most expensive city in the United States of America because of all the rich people there. And I've told you stories over the years, over the 3.9K plus videos on this channel, over the 3.9K plus videos on the other channel. And the way it works is we have to pay for the mission, i.e. our parents in many cases. And as a result, we go out and we tell people about the Book of Mormon. We ignore the first part of it. We go straight to 3rd Nephi chapter 11 and say, look, see Jesus, there it is, there's the name Jesus. It's right here in the center of our name. We're Christian. Jesus. And then we take them to the back of the book, Moroni chapter 10, verses 3 through 5, and say that after you read the Book of Mormon, you need to pray and get the right feeling, and then we'll schedule a baptism for you. We have to get our numbers up for the month. The district leader pressures us. Please help us. We need our numbers. And so part of the investigator discussions to sum up the church and cover up and hide the rest that we don't want to talk about involves the payment of tithing. We as Mormons don't get paid to be Mormon. We don't get paid to go on a mission. We have to pay. And we go out and we recruit other people who also are required to pay the church. We pay the church. Those we convert. Oh no, Travis, you don't convert. Those who are recruited pay the church too. And then missions are likely in their future, they do the same thing. Section 119, tithing must be paid. It's not an option, it's not a debate, it's not a donation. It's a forced requirement. Punishments will be enforced. Okay, this is called a pyramid scam. Oh, they don't like pyramid scam? They want to call it a multi-level marketing scam? Oh, they don't like that either, so it's a Ponzi scheme? Oh, you're upset with scheme and scam. It's a crime. When the people at the top get paid for free labor from below that have to pay above. It's a crime. All missionaries do it. All missionaries are involved in this pyramid scam. Multi-level marketing, Ponzi, whatever you want to call it. There have been scandals about it. Vice News covered it. Multi-level marketing, Mormonism. It's a crime. You can't do it. It's criminal. But we're getting away with it for all these decades. Yeah, aren't you? Isn't that interesting? Our government's failing to do their job. And now the state of Utah is so dominated with Mormons in every single field that the church is able to be protected from criminal prosecution. And only when a whistleblower finally gets a federal agency to fine the church just $5 million for an SEC violation dealing with Russia, that it gets exposed of what the church is actually about. And if you remember, was it last year or the year before when these shows were coming out about Mormon murders and the other, they were both about Mormon murdering. Mark Hoffman and the other murders down in wherever, by Provo probably. And so the world got a glimpse into the reality of Mormonism, that Mormons are murderers to get gain. for the church, not them. And so, therefore, you're not Master Mayhans, because you're not making the gain for yourself, it's for the church. Oh my God. Same thing. Same thing. It just makes it a conspiracy. I'm an assassin for Jesus. And so, this whole culture of missionary service has become a Kool-Aid drinking in and of itself, as Mormons play the stupid card, unaware of the criminal activity that they are involved in and helping the church with. And so, yeah, there's lots of other financial crimes like money laundering and so forth and so on. And it has a long history going back to Brigham Young, who was the first to establish missionary work as a criminal operation. And you thought it was Joseph, didn't you, ex-foe Nevermose? Ooh, naughty, naughty. You didn't do your research. You trusted somebody else who's stupid. And so, having been on my mission, having been pressured to get the numbers up, I would hear Mormon myths even about all of the celebrities that missionaries were bragging about having knocked on their door and given them a Book of Mormon, and then failed to follow up. You can't just drop off a Book of Mormon and run. You gotta follow up. We will be back at this time to see how your reading of the Book of Mormon is going. Are they able to make and keep covenants, promises? This is whole why it's done. Is that, are you reading? Okay, you're reading. Are you praying? Okay, you're praying. Are you gonna pay tithing? Are you gonna avoid all sexual thoughts in your head? You're not? What do you mean you're not? Just turn it off. Pray. Read your Book of Mormon. Sing a hymn. I'm going to have to get my mission president to interview you if you're going to be this stubborn. Yes, we're sexually abused in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and then weaponizes Mormons to sexually abuse other Mormons, even in the relationships of marriage. There really isn't a dating in the church. There really isn't an engagement time period. It's pretty much, you see a woman, you know they're the one to marry because you feel it with every fiber of your cereal in the morning. And so you rush off and get married in the temple. You've already paid the prostitution price you have to pay ever since you turn 8 years old. They don't tell you that it's for your future prostitute. In an arranged marriage. Again, do I need to go over the crime of prostitution with you and explain how the process of the church is exactly the same as with prostitution? Just like with missionary work and a Ponzi scheme. Everything is criminal in this church. Why are you so naive? Why are you playing the dumb card? And so, I have a comment from this morning on Mormon church whistleblower causes U.S. House of Representatives to go under the covers. And so Victor 702 demonstrates how illiterate he is. O is the letter, 0 is the number. O. And he looks like a gang member. He's not clean shaven. God. See, on Moonlighting, Bruce Willis has a full, thick head of hair. And then he shaved it. And then all priesthood leaders, likewise, or priesthood holders in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, shaved their heads to emulate Bruce Willis in his new movie with shaved head. And the leaders of the church were concerned. The apostles were saying, hey, you can't do that. And so the priesthood had their backup plan in case this would happen. Oh, we're doing it to support cancer victims. We donated the hair to cancer. Sure you did. Sure you did. Is it? Then I didn't really want to. I have several movies. I don't want to videos. I don't want to combine them all together here because this is already 22 minutes. And so then Hinckley, when he was president of the church, he required the use of a cane, and he got up at a priesthood session trying to justify why he's using a cane, as if it's some kind of a sin. And so after that conference, all the priesthood holders get canes. They're all imitating the president of the church. It was supposed to be his actions to become being the being. But nope, they emulate the outward appearance instead. Yeah, I'm sure that won't lead to any problems whatsoever. And so, after Trump got his little ear patch, yep, sure enough, everybody, priesthood holders throughout the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, are now getting ear patches. Now I can understand, when I was in the younger singles ward, where all the women hated me, you're divorced, we don't like you, you're a sinner. Go be with your own kind. They're, for some, it's just, oh my God, reason. You've got these precious, pretty princesses who think they're entitled, think they're holier than thous, and they're, the stake purposely had a disabled center that was there in the boundaries of singles go to the under singles ward. And yeah, the segregation continued. Those from that center were dismissed, just like I was, by the pretty little princesses of entitlement. They're not good enough for them. But being kind to them was something that they had never experienced before. And as a result, one of the guys in particular had chosen to mimic me because of being nice to him. And so as I had bought up in Canada a briefcase so that I could carry the scriptures and the manuals to the seminary job. It was preparation to become a seminary teacher, but school interfered. Plus, I was doing it wrong. I wasn't trying to manipulate the kids' feelings. I was having the kids go right into the scriptures, to use the footnotes, to use the topical guide and Bible dictionary like I was taught. No, we don't do that anymore, Travis. I had no idea about September 6th. I'm sorry. I'm unaware of any of that. And that was why. And so, yeah, it was clear that seminary was not going to be an option, especially after they told me that if you get divorced, you get fired. And so I'm already starting on the downward spiral of hell in the marriage as I'm being abused. And so I was hoping that maybe she would pull out of it if I could just get her away from the husband murderers club. Nope, not the case. So, but yeah, he bought himself his own briefcase as I was assigned to teach these little kids, as I'm on the upper edge of the age category by that time. And so, yeah, he was mimicking me because I was nice to him. And it's sad that such was the case, that people get abused so much that when somebody is nice to them, it's a world changer. But that's the state of Utah, as I said. You know, people don't want the homeless, but they don't want the homeless to suffer. They just don't want the homeless. And so it's just sick and wrong. So those are for a different video. Alright, now it's a different video. Great joke. Have to wait for that video. It's on polygamy. Bruce Willis did a joke on moonlighting that I saw this morning. It's gonna be awesome. You'll have to wait. May not get it, because you have to wait. If I have to wait and hesitate, I may not do the video. And so, in the news, see, we're getting to it. There's two things. The second one is hilarious because it involves women. The first, let's get to Victor's comment. And so, he says, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and he didn't do the proper capitalization and no hyphen, is the true Church of Jesus Christ. The Book of Mormon is a true and all caps powerful, so I know he knows how to use the caps, witness of Jesus Christ. And like I said, he it looks like he has scars and scruffy, you know, perfect return missionary. And so I checked out his channel, and it's disturbing. He's all about first-person shooter games. Nothing about the church, nothing about Book of Mormon, nothing about Trump. Just first-person shooter games. He does little clips of where he blows people away on a computer game. First-person shooter. And he's looking like a gangster. And he's all about first-person shooter games. And he thinks he's going to come to one video that's not talking about the Book of Mormon that I've been talking about. I just did that one with Book of Mormon cover on it. Seed and apple. Any questions? Yeah, he didn't bother to watch that one. He comes to this one. And he shows how stupid he is. This is not an argument. Testimonials are not arguments. This is even a false testimonial. You're lying. You didn't do your research. You're going to get owned in a debate. He's falling for the Danite lie. If he's not a Russian spy who didn't do his research on Mormonism so that he can pull off being a Mormon. There are certain Mormonisms that you have to adopt. In case you didn't know, you're going, what? Russia? Huh? Back in the post-World War II era, Russia started setting their sights on infiltrating America. They were going to send Russians to America to live as Americans. And so, as part of the initial training for the initial candidates, for which future generations would be born and raised in America and thus be Americans and be subject to the laws of America and the protections and rights of Americans as Russians, spies in America. They were trying to overthrow the government by exploiting the weakness in the Constitution. And so in Russia, we eventually found that they had whole towns built for Russian operatives who would be sent on their missions to America. See, I'm keeping with the theme. To learn how to be Americans. They had homes and all of the appliances and conveniences that we had back in those days. And so that when they infiltrated America, they would blend right in. They were taught English and all this stuff. And so in the 80s, this is when they were activated and got exposed during Reagan's administration. And thus came the TV show Americans. Excellent show, very disturbing, but very good show. And so, yeah, the kids grow up unaware of it until they become adults and take on the family business. And you got to understand, the Russians are not married. They hook up, arrange two people to be together to pretend to be married. And so thus the concept of family values isn't a part of their system. And so in Americans, for example, you see that the wife will go around using her body to get information back to Russia, and vice versa with the husband. And so the concept of loving your spouse, it takes on a whole twisted meaning from that. But that's the Russians. And so, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all if this guy is some kind of a Russian plant. But nonetheless, anybody who's been watching my channel knows the church can't be true. The Book of Mormon and Joseph Smith can't be Christian. It's not about Jesus. Just like the Bible is not Christian, it's not about Jesus. Do you see how he's fallen prey to that? He's doing a declaration claiming to be a missionary. All members are missionaries. Benson. And he's lying to me. He thinks he's got me. That I'm going to change my heart. And I'm going to confess that Jesus is the Christ. And I've been lying to you this whole time. Ain't going to happen. I use science. I know the truth. He's using feelings and parroting. None of this is from any of his own research and study, putting it in his own words. This guy is illiterate. This guy is stupid. This guy is dangerous. He's into first-person shooter games and wanting to share that with other people. And so then there was another guy. There's some news. It's coming. Obi Geki. He sent me emojis that look like barfing, and you can't hover over them to find out what emoji they are. That's one of the YouTube shorts, or well, problems. Shorts are a problem too. And he's done some videos. He doesn't do first-person shooters. He's apparently into acting, doing videos, and teaching other people how to do videos. And so he's done one where he shows his face, failure video project. Family rituals and terrible vacation, BYU EXDM 300. And so you got a Simpsons thing, so you've decided to post this. Here's why you shouldn't have. Kind of clever, hilarious. You know, he's showing his baby picture rather than him, which he does on his shorts mostly, and then the one failed project. And so it's clear he's a Book of Mormon or BYU student. So he's right just down the road. Take the train to Provo. Take the last train to Provo, and I'll meet you at the station. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. So I know it's the Monkees. Take the last train to Clarksville. We'll see. Oh, oh, I like that one better. Train kept a rolling all night long. Sorry, Monkees. We'll have to wait. Although I did a whole list of songs yesterday for the one video. I couldn't decide which one to choose. They were all so great. But he did one that 3 months ago that was his most recent one. And he has a picture of the Book of Mormon opened up to the Book of Mormon, chapter 1. So I guess it's the Book of Mormon, chapter 1 in the Book of Mormon. And for those of you who've never opened up the Book of Mormon, have no idea what the Book of Mormon is. The Book of Mormon is the overall title, and then within the Book of Mormon there are books as as separate books within the Book of Mormon. And so, the Book of Mormon, chapter 1. Now I, Mormon, make a record of the things which I have both seen and heard. And now Mormon, make a record. Yep. And it's 4 minutes, 51 seconds. And it says, in quotes, "What importance does the Book of Mormon have in your life?" Question mark. And as I hovered over it to see what YouTube would allow me to see of it, I saw exactly why he's posting this video. It's not his. He's got a cute little honey bunny in the video. Yep. We know who he likes. We know who he likes. And so, it has nothing to do with the Book of Mormon. It's all a front for him. He wants to be popular and do videos and get attention for his little clips. He's got a gorilla, he's got some cartoons and an anime. Nothing of him except for those shorts and that failed video. He's unable to be original. He's not getting inspiration. How is he going to impress little Honey Bunny, who's there at BYU with him? Last train to Provo, meet you at the station. We'll have to weed through the homeless. They're all over the place. Mass hysteria. Okay. So, no, you don't use the Book of Mormon to pick up chicks. I guess you can if it works. Good for you. Sucks for me. I brought a girl to tears in the younger singles ward with the Book of Mormon. If you lasted long enough into that video I did the other day. So, return missionary comes home. He's at the airport. Salt Lake City Airport. Just down the road. Don't need the train. I could take tracks. Get there by tracks. I guess there's also a bus that gets out there. Even running, I'd have to run a little extra longer, but it's too hot. I already get heat exhaustion by the time I get home. And so I have to cool down for 3 days, assuming I didn't get bit by a mosquito and I'm down for 2 weeks. And I end up with a cough for eternity. But he's there at the airport, and I've got stories about my coming home. I got lost. I had no idea where to go. I'm supposed to catch a connector flight to go to California here at the Salt Lake Airport, which was the older one, not the newer one that they have, but regardless. And apparently my sister Tiffany flirted with the guy at the other place so that they would hold the plane for me. And so I didn't really have time to see her and hug her and talk. It was just, oh, okay. Had no idea I was supposed to go here. You know, they don't give you a map of the airport. They don't, you know, it's just, dear God. So anyway, I eventually got home. And nobody cheered. They all saw me and were horrified because I was in an anemic position. I've lost 50 pounds and I'm a young, fit athlete trained. And here I am losing 50 pounds on my mission. And so I was skin and bones and death warmed over. So everybody was afraid of me. Nobody would talk. Nobody. Not even Mom. They did, however, get upset that I was last off the plane, waiting for an elderly woman who was being wheeled out by the flight attendants. And so, this returned missionary, who's now back for Armageddon, when the church will be destroyed, according to Book of Mormon prophecy and Joseph Smith prophecy, but Mormons don't believe it because they believe he's Christian and not Jewish. So therefore, they don't believe in prophecy and revelation. Well, aren't you in for a big surprise? Everything has been fulfilled already as Jewish. And so you're gonna think that it's gonna be wrong about this final thing? Good luck with that. Because Jesus didn't show. And so he sees this guy, Post Malone, who did a concert over the weekend, I guess. I don't know why he stuck around Utah. There's nothing to do in Utah. The place closes at 6:30 in the evening. Nothing is open after 6:30. Because alcohol is banned in the state of Utah, along with prostitution. All businesses are MLM businesses. Even the grocery stores. just one big crime state. But no gambling. That's verboten. And so, yeah, the hipster, rapper, whatever genre, he's apparently changed it over the decades. He was in Utah and he's going home. And the returned missionary sees him. How do you know about him, Elder? You've been gone for 2 years. How do you know about him? Oopsies. Busted. But no, local news oblivious to this, as if they've never gone on a mission themselves to know how much of a blunder this was, that this missionary knows who Post Malone is and goes and gives him a Book of Mormon. Just like on my mission, all the celebrities of the myth lying to be popular among other missionaries. Wow, you're so cool. Tell us how you did it, man. Wow. Oh my hell. Yeah, Johnny Carson got a Book of Mormon. I can't think of anybody else right now, but I do remember that one. And so the missionary is just giving it to him. He's not doing the whole thing. And hopefully he didn't call it the bomb. You can't do that in an airport anymore since 9/11 and the Patriot Act. And so, yeah, there's going to be no retention. There's going to be no follow-up. He didn't explain the Book of Mormon. He just gave it to him. And the guy took it, because Post Malone, I guess, is a nice guy. Don't let all those tattoos fool you. And so it makes the news here in Utah, because it's faith promoting for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Just like the Russian terrorist bomber. You know, that's all it is. It's just a zombie thing. Parrots. Mindless zombie sheep of the apocalypse. Farm Apocalypse. Shaun the Sheep. Awesome movie. So brilliant. Remember when I did that video? Did that picture? Awesome. Farmageddon. And so, yeah, this is all it is. It's just a gang for Mormons. It's just a club. You know, you have to be a part of it in order to be cool. But I'm the good guy. And pretty soon the women at the office start looking better and better, and your family starts looking worse, and before you know it, boom, but I'm the good guy. I really hope I remember to put those clips in. Too much stuff, and we're at 50 minutes. But it'll allow me to bathe and shave. The new razor that I have is making it so that I can go 2 days without actually shaving. And I don't know, maybe it's because of the third day that it gets so close as a shave that I can go 2 days. It's wild. I've never had this done before. It's always every day. And I've been cheating being here and skipping one day every day. But the last razor at the start of this month, yeah, it's 2 days. I'm like, it doesn't seem like I need to shave. Did I shave yesterday? I don't remember shaving yesterday. I was sure it was 2 days ago. And so, the other one. Let's see, where did I put it? Oh, right. Right. Heretic. Coming to Utah. And it's too bad Larry Miller is dead. He would have banned it from his theaters, just like Brokeback Mountain. This is where we're going to get our thumbnail picture, because they're so cute. Heretic, with Hugh Grant as a creepy killer. And it's unclear if they're using not Dahmer. I heard somebody else called Dahmer from Wisconsin or something like that. It's the Mormon boy. Bundy. Ted Bundy. There we go. It's unclear if this is that or it's just another random movie. And so you need to understand, like I said, last year or 2 years ago, the Mormon murders, Mark Hoffman, Mormons are murdering here in the state of Utah, killing their husbands, killing their wives, lock up your daughters, run for your lives. Yeah, families are even getting murdered. You know, you have a murder-suicide that goes on here in Utah, and it's been a plague. And then you get psychologists that are being exposed of being a part of this brainwashing for the church. Jody Hildebrandt, that is causing Mormons to commit these murders and crimes for the church. Yeah, psychologists purposely brainwashing the Mormons on behalf of the church to cause the crimes, the rapes, the murders, the thefts, the violence, the insurrection. And so it's all getting unraveled right before Armageddon and the Civil War II, World War III. And so Mormons are not reading their Book of Mormon anymore. They're feeling good about it. And this is leading to consequences. Mormons are not acting out the true precepts of the Book of Mormon because they're not reading it. They don't believe it's true. They're calling it Christian with Jesus. And they have to feel good about it. And so as a result, the consequences are murder, rape, theft, crime, abuse, bullying, insurrection, terrorism, assassinations. And the prophets are going silent, I noticed. Especially after Nelson's humiliation with the new mission leaders. They know if Nelson's gonna speak or post, I'm gonna cover it and I'm going to expose it. Because remember, church ain't true, which means everything they say and do is wrong. And thus, I've got videos for multiple lifetimes. Even if the church news fails to do a church news article for me to cover, like last night, I can still make something up. Because there's so much to expose with this church. And this has history behind it. Because before internet porn, all all advanced technologies that get created always involve women in stages of undress. Because women are just so cute that they are artistic inspiration for every man. And women don't understand this. They are told by psychologists and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints to turn their bodies into an idol to be feared, that it will cause harm to other people. And women fall for it and believe it. And so you get these housewives. And this is why the women at the office start looking better and better, and your wife starts looking worse and worse. It's because she's jealous. For whatever reason. He married you. He didn't marry his mistress. He married you. Women don't get this. They complain so much about men that they marry that are not giving up their bachelor lifestyle. They demand the man change his behavior. David Addison, your behavior is wrong. I need love from a man, not a comedian. Change your behavior. You're not taking this seriously. I need to make money. I'm not good being poor. Moon Lady, you're going to hear a lot of it. I'm watching it now. Took a break from Stargate. And so, yes, you get these housewives, Mormon housewives, who are offended. How dare the news cover the news? It's so violent and evil. Can't you talk about fluff stuff like people giving out the Book of Mormon to a heathen at an airport? That's how Mormons are. They demand other people change for their sensitivities. The whole R-rated thing. Oh, the movie was great except for that one line, that one scene. And so then you get Rick's College, they would have their theater, and they would get movie film reels, and the guys would cut and edit it, and then they'd move to Utah and start a business doing it with DVDs, and then two little girls would come in while they're being sued by Hollywood, and they'd give them $10 each for a blowjob, and then they'd go home and tell mommies, and oops, now you're in prison. And so yeah, movies would be cut and edited for PG rating status according to their sensitivities. And I would date one woman who all guys dated and didn't get anywhere. She was purposely using guys and being a civil shepherd. Dear God, so much complaining. Just enjoy life. My hell. Why are you such an angry woman? I know. You need somebody to love you. And I was right there and you threw me away. And so, yeah, TV, music, video games have always been blamed. Pictures have always been blamed for causing evil. And so Hollywood takes up on this with the Catholic Church, with their idol worship of fearing certain idols and needing Jesus' power through good idols, like holy water and the cross. Works great on lycanthropes and vampires and demons. And dogma comes out awesome. The Golgotha poo monster. Oh, that was gross. and so, yeah, you got these Mormon housewives who are stuck on idolatry, who have not been given sex ed because it's evil, and so they're sexually abusing their spouses, and they're paranoid about what their kids see and do, taking away agency rather than trying to teach them correctly. And so, yes, you've got this idolatry fear that goes around. And so, yeah, Mormons were concerned that, this doesn't represent all Mormons about Mark Hoffman. He was just a rogue person. Chad Daybell, just a rogue person. Didn't read his scriptures, didn't go to church, didn't pray, didn't pay tithing. God, he's an anti-Mormon, anti-Christ horror. We're not like that since 1978. Yeah, Mormons lie and deceive themselves. Movies have no power over you unless you give it to them. If you're incapable of learning how to learn, to take words, produce the results to go, oh, that's a false doctrine. And then you won't get brainwashed. And quote, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is true and the Book of Mormon is powerful. As a witness of Jesus. It's not a witness. It's Jewish. Everybody wants to change definitions to overthrow the government. And so Hugh Grant is in a horror movie. And so most likely he's got these two little missionary girls who, oh, you naughty girls, they are well aware. He says, hey, come on in. We'll talk about the Book of Mormon. And they say, oh, no, we need to have another woman present. Yeah. He says, does my wife count? Oh, okay, well, come on in. However, no wife. He's going to get them some pie. And then they see the jar of jam on the counter. Ooh, scary. Maybe it's his wife. Chilled mommy brains. Oh, so gross. Indiana Jones in the Temple of Doom. No time for love, Dr. Jones. I'm right here. And so, yeah, Mormon moms are scared for their daughters who rebelled against Jesus to go on a mission rather than get pregnant. These are the consequences. Everybody wants to get away with their crimes and not be judged for them, not be prosecuted for them. Nobody cares about the consequences. Nobody's choosing the right. to let those consequences follow. Yeah, and if you don't understand, the church in Zion is going to ban women from going on missions anyway. As Nelson's been slaughtering missionaries. You know, I did the videos about natural disasters that occur throughout the world, and the church remains silent. Mormons die, missionaries die, and the church goes silent. But when there's a country that the church needs a little favor from, though, oh yeah, they go right in. Oh, we're helping. See us. See how good we are, Travis. You're wrong. This isn't a business opportunity that we're going to profit off of, even though it is. So yeah, I'm now going to want to obtain this DVD if it can come out before Armageddon this year. Because I want it for my collection now. Simply because Mormon housewives are throwing a hissy fit. Because for some reason, they're under the impression that people are going to watch this and go, oh, yeah, I'm going to kill sister missionaries too. See, that logic doesn't work. Because there was an attempt by the Halloween guy, or was it the Michael, let's see, I'm getting them mixed up, because there's several of them. It's not the Night Mauler on Elm Street, Freddy Krueger. It's the hockey mask guy, the camp, the boys and girls camp. Oh, it's gonna bug me. Friday the 13th. There we go. Not Halloween, but Friday the 13th. And it was sort of curious that the sluts were the ones who die in the movie. Whereas the good girls were the ones who survived for future shows. And so if that were to be the case, then guys who are brainwashed by movies would watch these horror movies about having sex with sluts would also get you killed. And so that would be a preventative sex measure for kids. Have them watch the horror movie, see if you have sex, you're going to die, just like the slut you had sex with. But these Mormon housewives don't think like that. They only select what movies are like that. They don't think of the bigger picture. They don't think, oh, those poor missionary girls, I want to learn about the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints and become a member and read the Book of Mormon and feel good about it and start paying the church. Those Mormon housewives, no. It has to be faith promoting all the way. Or it must be banned as porn. Yeah, that's how Mormons are. Missionary girls are so cute. And I want to watch it now. Otherwise, I would have never cared. Heretic would have come out on DVD, and oh, okay, Hugh Grant. I need more than just a horror movie. Oh, it has missionaries in it? Sister missionaries? Oh! Now you got me. But yeah, this whole idolatry thing that's involved with this as a consequence of Jesus, it being the Jesus of the church, is why. Jesus does not exist. Prophets have to deceive Mormons by saying, we talked to Jesus. Jesus told us to hurt you. You have to pay us so that we can hurt you. You have to pay us so that you can have sex finally. After getting married in the temple, of course. Although Nelson has lifted that. You can now be engaged to be married in the temple. Be going through the process, and your engagement can be as long as you want it to be. Years. Just as long as you've notified your bishop, we're going through the process, we've got an engagement plan, we're engaged, we're going to get married, we're paying our tithing. You can go down on her all you want. Act like a monkey. Last train to Clarksville. Because Nelson has approved it. No more waiting for a year after naughty naughty. You just have to be engaged. Make it announced so that other people know. And you're as good as married. To have babies. Yeah, I've got 5 kids now. Yeah, we're planning on getting married eventually. We're engaged. I am shocked because Mormons before this at BYU would purposely take a weekend vacation trip to Vegas, get married at Elvis's shop of horrors and marriage, and have sex the whole weekend. And then at the end of their orgy fest, hedonism, they'd get an annulment and head on back to BYU as if nothing ever happened. And whether they go with the same person the next weekend, I don't know. Maybe they do a different person every weekend. But the church clamped down on that. Said, you've misunderstood our commandments. And so I don't understand why kids aren't doing this now. All you have to do is say you're engaged. You can have all the sex you want. But you gotta hurry because Armageddon with Project 2025, abortion and contraception and birth control, all illegal, as well as other things that don't impregnate the woman, all illegal. You'll go to prison, you'll be put on a sex offender registry. The woman will be forced into a harem with good Christian parents. And here in the state of Utah with a church leader. And then you'll be raped like a Handmaid's Tale. And that's the real horror. That is real. Not some fiction from Hollywood. Mormons don't see this. Mormons don't see Nelson as murdering you, sending you out on missions, lying to people, endangering your lives, claiming that if you die, you go automatically to the celestial kingdom. Well, remember, they're lying. They're not true, which means they have no authority. Remember? Amen. They have no keys. They can't exalt you. They can't seal you. They can't give you patriarchal blessings. They can't hold conferences. They can't give you any priesthood because Wilford Woodruff was the last, and you can't call others into your quorum because of the controversies before 1838. And so Joseph Smith had it changed where he had to approve where a person would be going into a quorum, and then the quorum could ordain him. And so Wilford Woodruff is the last ordained member of the 12. But it's not for the president of the church. They can't run the church. They have no keys for it. It's the keys of Moses, the Christ of the Jews. The president of the church is the Christ. No, only Jesus is the... Can you say anti-Semitic? So yeah, this is a horrible, awful thing that's going on, and Mormons are playing stupid and being weapons of the church to attack other people, to try to ruin this movie. And these Mormon housewives don't get it. You didn't learn from The Simpsons, did you? You did it to The Simpsons, and now they were popular until they got sold to Disney. And now The Simpsons, are they still around? They didn't do DVDs after season 21. So bleep you, Simpsons. Bleep you, Disney, for hating Americans. Yeah, you're going to make it popular. People are going to hear about controversy with Heretic. Hear that the church tried to have it banned. So it must be true. And then all these people all over the world are going to make Hugh Grant popular once again. And go and watch the movie. And then they're all going to want to murder Sister Missionaries, who are so cute. I prefer the one with the glasses. It was just so adorable. She's kind of the geeky, awkward one. So cute. Those girls did an excellent acting job. Brilliant! Oscar nominees for all. Dear God. So yeah, with this one being so long, I may not get to the polygamy and the polygamy joke. Should I give it to you here at the end as a teaser? Okay. This goes with a whole movie or a whole video about Book of Mormon and no polygamy. So again, from Bruce Willis, David Addison from Moonlighting. And I don't memorize, and so you get what you get. Guy walks into a bar, and he's hit on by 4 girls. And he tells them, "Hey girls, I'm an old-fashioned guy. One of you are going to have to leave." Just one.